You ever walk into a place and feel the air shift, like something's about to go down? That's how it was that morning in Rusty's diner, tucked away in the sleepy little town of Willow Creek, where the coffee's always hot and the gossip's always hotter. I'm talking about a day that started like any other, but ended with a lesson nobody in that diner would ever forget. Picture this. It's barely 7 a.m. The sun's just creeping over the hills, painting the windows gold, and old Sam Carter's sitting in his usual spot, corner booth, staring out at the world like he's seen it all because, well, he damn near has. Sam's pushing 80, a Vietnam vet with hands that shake when he holds his mug, but eyes so sharp they could cut through steel. He's the guy who orders black coffee, no sugar, and a side of rye toast every single day. The regulars nod at him. The waitresses smile. But nobody really knows Sam, not the weight he carries, the buddies he lost in the war, the nights he still wakes up hearing choppers in his dreams. To them, he's just the old guy in the corner, quiet, steady, like a rock nobody bothers to turn over. Then the door swings open, bell jangling a little too loud, and in walks Trouble Jake Malone, mid-30s, leather jacket slung over one shoulder, boots stomping like he owns the place. Jake's not from Willow Creek, and he makes damn sure you know it. There's a chip on his shoulder bigger than the diner itself, and his smirk says he's looking for someone to knock it off. He slides into a booth, all swagger, and barks for coffee, loud enough to make the room flinch. The waitress, Jenny, barely 20 and sweet as pie, scurries over with a pot, her hands shaking just a bit. Jake takes one sip, screws up his face, and lets out a laugh that's more like a snarl. This is what you call coffee? Tastes like ditch water. Jenny mumbles an apology, her cheeks red, but Jake's not done. He leans back, loud enough for everyone to hear. Guess this town's too broke to afford decent beans, huh? The diner goes quiet, forks pausing mid-bite, eyes darting down to plates. Nobody wants to catch this guy's attention. Sam, though, he's not one for letting cruelty slide. He sets his mug down, slow, deliberate, and says, just loud enough, "Hey, kid, ease up on her, she's just doing her job." His voice is calm, but it's got that edge, like a blade wrapped in velvet. Jake's head snaps around, eyes locking on Sam like he's just found his morning entertainment. "What's that, Grandpa? You got something to say?" Sam doesn't blink. "I said, be kind. Cost you nothing." The air gets thick, heavy, like the whole diner's holding its breath. Jake stands, slow, predatory, and saunters over to Sam's booth, every step screaming trouble. He leans in close, his voice dripping venom. "Kindness. What's a fossil like you know about kindness?" Before anyone can blink, his hand flies out crack right across Sam's face. The sound echoes, sharp and ugly, silencing the jukebox, the clatter of dishes, everything. Sam's head turns with the hit, a red mark blooming on his cheek, but his eyes? They don't waver, not one bit. No fear, no anger, just this quiet, unshakable dignity that makes Jake's smirk look cheap. Jake straightens up, grinning like he's king of the world. "That's what kindness gets you, old man." He struts back to his booth, daring anyone to say a word. Nobody does. The diner's frozen, shame hanging in the air like smoke. Jenny's eyes are wet, her hands trembling as she whispers, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Carter." Sam just gives her this small, sad smile, like he's saying, "Don't worry, kid, this ain't on you." But inside, Sam's mind is spinning, not with pain. He's felt worse, but with memories. Trenches in Nam, buddies who never made it home. The weight of a life where courage meant standing tall, not throwing punches. He doesn't hate Jake, not really. He pities him, whispers a quiet prayer for a guy so lost he thinks cruelty makes him strong. But the silence in the diner? That cuts deeper than the slap. Nobody's standing up. Nobody's saying a word. It's like the whole room's given up on decency. Across the diner, a kid in a faded ball cap, maybe 25, fidgets in his seat. His name's Tommy, a local mechanic who's been coming here since he was a kid. He's got this look, like he wants to do something, say something, but fear's got him glued to the vinyl. He glances at Sam, then at Jake, who's laughing loud enough to make sure everyone knows he's still in charge. Jenny spills coffee on the counter, her hands shaking so bad she can't pour straight. She catches Sam's eye, and he gives her a nod, just a tiny one, like he's saying, "You're okay." That nod, it lights a spark in Tommy's chest, makes him sit up a little straighter, but before he can move, Jake slams his fist on the table. What? Nobody got anything to say? That's what I thought. His grin's wide, feeding off the silence. But outside, there's this low rumble motorcycles, faint at first, but getting louder, closer, like a storm rolling in. Sam sips his coffee, gone cold now, and thinks of his son, Luke. Luke's a big guy, works as a welder in the city, rough around the edges, but loyal to the bone. Sam raised him to respect folks, to fight only when there's no other way. But Luke's got a fire in him, the kind that doesn't go out easy. Sam whispers his name, half prayer, half hope, because Luke's not here not yet. But that rumble outside? It's getting louder, shaking the windows, making the air in the diner feel electric. Jake doesn't notice, too busy playing king. He stands again, eyes locked on Sam. You know your problem, old man? You think respect means something, but respect's just weakness. Sam looks up, steady as ever. Respect's the only thing that lasts. Jake laughs, sharp and mean, then turns to Tommy. What about you, kid? Want to play hero? I'll put you down faster than this geezer. Tommy freezes, shame washing over him, and Jake's grin gets wider, like he's won again. Then it happens, the door flies open, and the rumble becomes a roar. In walks Luke Carter, Sam's son, broad-shouldered, grease still smudged on his knuckles, flanked by a crew of bikers, all leather and steel, patches on their jackets that say they don't take kindly to disrespect. The diner gasps, the air shifting like a tide. Luke's eyes find his dad instantly, see the red mark on his cheek, and his jaw tightens, fist clenching so hard his knuckles go white. He crosses the room, boots heavy, deliberate, and drops to one knee beside Sam. They don't speak at first, just look at each other. Sam's calm, Luke's fire in that moment. You can feel the weight of their bond, father and son, unspoken but unbreakable. Luke's voice finally breaks through, low, rough. Who did this, Dad? Sam puts a hand on his arm, gentle but firm. Let it be, Luke. It's okay. But Luke's eyes slide to Jake, who's suddenly not grinning anymore. The bikers stand behind Luke, silent, steady, like a wall of thunder waiting to break. Luke stands, slow, and faces Jake. Stand up. His voice is calm, but it's the kind of calm that makes your skin prickle. Jake tries to laugh it off, but it's shaky now. What? You and your biker buddy's gonna teach me a lesson? Luke shakes his head. Don't need them for you. The diner's holding its breath, every eye on the two men. Jake stands, trying to puff himself up, but he's smaller now, the swagger leaking out of him like air from a busted tire. He had it coming. Jake mutters, pointing at Sam. Luke's eyes darken. That's my father. The words hit harder than any punch, and the bikers shift, ready, but waiting. Sam's voice cuts through, firm, steady. Luke, don't. Luke hesitates, torn between rage and his dad's words. Sam's voice softens, but it's got years of weight behind it. This ain't your fight, son. Let him carry his own burden. Jake tries to smirk, sensing a way out. Yeah, listen to Daddy, tough guy. But Sam's eyes lock on Jake, sharp as ever. You think restraint's weakness? That's your mistake. Something shifts in the diner, not just fear, not just tension, but something deeper. Jenny straightens up, her voice cracking but brave. Why don't you just leave? Jake glares, but her courage stops him cold. Tommy pulls off his cap, eyes steady now, and one by one, the other customers lift their heads, no longer hiding. A couple in the corner nods, an old lady by the counter murmurs, enough. Jake's alone now, facing not just Luke or Sam, but a room full of quiet defiance. His fists clench, but his confidence is gone, washed away by the weight of their eyes. He mutters something, barely audible, and starts for the door, his boots dragging, no swagger left. The bell jangles weakly as he steps out, the roar of the bikes outside swallowing him whole. He doesn't look back, can't. The diner lets out a breath, the air lighter, like a storm's just passed. Sam sips his cold coffee, sets it down, and Luke slides into the booth across from him, still tense, but softening as he looks at his dad. I should have. Sam cuts him off, gentle but firm. You did enough, son. You stood. Sometimes that's all it takes. Luke nods, slow, like he's learning something new about strength. The bikers settle into booths, their laughter low, respectful, like they're guarding something sacred. Tommy walks over, voice shaky but sure. Thanks, Mr. Carter. Sam nods, and you can see it, courage catching, spreading like wildfire. Jenny brings a fresh coffee, her hands steady now. On the house, she says, smiling. The jukebox kicks back on, soft and warm, and the diner feels alive again. Not just a place for breakfast, but a place where something real happened. Sam leans back, looks at Luke, and says, "A man's strength ain't in how hard he hits, it's in what he protects." Luke's eyes mist up, but he nods, the lesson sinking deep. Outside, the sun's high now, spilling light across the floor, and the bikes rumble, ready to roll. Sam stands, tips his cap to Jenny, smiles at Tommy, and pats Luke's shoulder. They walk out together, the bikers falling in behind, and the diner watches them go, not in fear, but in awe. Sam pauses in the doorway, sunlight on his face, and whispers something to himself, maybe a prayer, maybe a promise. Respect always wins. So, what do you think? Does respect still hold that kind of power today, or are we too quick to swing? Drop a comment, tell me where you're watching from, and share a time you saw someone stand tall without throwing a punch. Hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more stories that hit you right in the heart. Let's keep this conversation going.